Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Under Construction. I'm your host, Ellis, otherwise known as the Admiral. That intro is 99% for people that are watching this as a video on demand. So if you're not, you probably haven't joined yet. I haven't put the thing in here. That isn't the thing. That was a fake, like, wooden wall poster, like a live, laugh, love thing I accidentally just pasted. Except it's the nuclear waste phrases. Like, there is danger here, it's man-made, it will be fine unless you disturb it, that sort of thing. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, check out, let me see, what is it called? The Wikipedia article for long-term nuclear waste warning messages. It's freaky, man. It's really cool, honestly. Good even, good odd, comrade. So we need to figure out what we're doing over here. So my original stated thought in my head was, okay, I want to go and finish this area here, but right now I don't want to do that. Right now, and this adds just another week onto this, but I think it's a reasonable thing. I know I'm sort of blowing my deadline away now, but it wasn't an important deadline to begin with. It wasn't really a real deadline. So, I am doing okay, Sherry Dunbar. How about you? So, here's the deal. We have this area that we need to complete. We need to fill it with grass and trees, as always. I'm not sure what I want to do with some of the areas that are maybe too steep for that. I know we have developed some sort of techniques that we use in those areas, but I don't know if we're going to sort of keep them going on forever. Also, the fact that there is one, yeah, right there, see that? There's one little spot in here that is grid texture, which is an accident, just from grabbing the copy paste wrong once or twice, and now I can just recopy it and go back to what I was doing. So yeah, I'm sort of waiting for someone to get in here. Transfer to Simulator 20 released in April. Yes. How much price did you wind up losing when the game froze? Believe it or not, none. Just about. Maybe a couple of grass splines. So, yeah. Trains 2019. Well, it doesn't have an autosave per se. The way the game works, where it opens your save file for edit when you go into it to edit, and then doesn't commit it. When you load back in, it prompts you saying some of the effect of, you have unsaved changes from last time. Do you want to keep them, or do you want to get rid of them? Which is useful, I suppose, especially if your changes were the thing that crashed the game. Like if you put in an asset that was broken, which I could see being extremely useful because, I mean, there are a lot of broken assets out there. I don't know if any that would crash your game, but I won't leave it out of the realm of possibility. And I'll tout him again. You know who would probably be able to make an asset that would crash your game? Matt. I bet Matt could create some sort of monster that would obliterate a save or a game if you just put it in there. Crash the game or something. Anyway, so we are going to go up to the edge here. Yeah, we are right about at the edge, because this is going to get another tile off of it, and then the other side, or sorry, but this one that we're working on is not. So we'll go up to this corner here, and just call it like that. Tolbryn's free. I haven't talked to. It's okay, don't worry. I'm not super, it's not a big deal. There are other things that I'm working on right now, that take priority. Which, I mean, is everything these days, except during 3 hours on a Thursday. But you can work on that at your own pace. I know you've been doing cool, gory, and defeated stuff. I saw the screenshot that is the replica of the famous photograph. I thought that was really cool. And meanwhile, I have my own side project, which, for those of you who don't know, uh, even though I talked about it last week, is the locomotive versus trading cards. Now, once we get some more people here, I'm going to talk about them a little more in detail. I think later in the show, I'm going to reveal what the 16 cards are that are being released and the one special order pack that's going out. Actually, I can just talk about that one right now just to get it out of the way. It's 1225. It's released. It's going to be released directly to the SRI crew. It was requested by Mason, who volunteers with them. So that's got to get done and put out. What happened here? Is that just there, or is that... Uh-oh. I think I have a broken asset somewhere. I think I need to do a database repair. Yeah, it's only the, like, one side... Hold on. Where'd my other one go? China 4. Interesting. Okay, hold on. We need to do some investigation here. Or... Oh, never mind. It's there. It's just invisible. Crap. Can I get the other ones to appear if I just... Hold on. Aha! Oh, now we got that one to come back. I'm willing stuff into existence. Yeah, but, you know, the trading cards are really happening. By the way, if anybody out there has experience with Kickstarter, that would be really useful. Because I am trying to make sense of how Kickstarter works and setting up the thing. And damn, there's a lot of work that goes into setting up a campaign on Kickstarter. But I guess that's what happens when you take people's money. I have been trying to get that set up. I hopefully will get it set up today. I am waiting on responses on a couple of photographs, and I don't want to wait too long, but at the same time I don't want to jump the gun and replace the photos and then get responses like, yeah, you can use them. Although I could always change them in like the 60 days or however long that the campaign is going to run, or 30 days that the campaign is going to run. So, I suppose it's not a big deal. The only thing I'm really waiting on is Graham's supposed to get me a couple of photos. One of Everett 11, the other one of DNS 486. Yeah, 486. So yeah, that's all gotta happen. But as soon as I figure out the Kickstarter, I have basically 30 days to figure out the rest of it. There will be a poll. Hey Ace, talking about the trading cards. There'll be a poll probably tomorrow about how many card packs a person might order, because I need to determine the ratio of like people buying one pack versus people buying 2 packs versus people buying like 3 packs, I guess, if you really wanted to. Which the thing is, I have to set it up I have to set it up properly so that the number of packs available, like, so I don't... There's an issue. How do I phrase this? There is an issue. I can't put out just a monetary goal, because I might go over that goal, which is a thing you can do on Kickstarter. You can go over that goal, and then I would have to supply more cards, which wouldn't be reasonably possible for me. I would have to fiddle with maybe some rarities or something like that, but I can't just go and make a bunch more. I mean, I could, but it's sort of... I would have to buy X amount, which is the 500 cards I intend to buy, or I would have to buy twice as many to make the ratios work. So it sort of presents a problem. Are these just disappearing again when I walk away? And then, because I feel like every time I look away, they're just going away. I'm going to need a database repair and then it'll be fine. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, I actually have to put trees over this. But yeah, we're going to have some trading cards. There will be a poll coming out about that, and I'm trying to think my way around it, but the issue is I only have 100 packs to give. And that is the biggest problem here. If I had a flexible number of packs, it would be a different story. And you know what? I can't deal with this. I think I'm going to have to do a database repair. I suppose I can do the database repair, and while that runs, I can show off the packs, or show off the cards for people that want to see them. But, man, I gotta get work done on here. I can't really afford to spend that time doing that. Speaking of which, there may be... It's possible that the 24-hour stream will come on Valentine's Day. Oh, no, that doesn't work. So I've got I end up having to record Bacon Line. Well, that's probably not going to work, because there are going to be other people doing Valentine's Day stuff on Valentine's Day. So, man, this is going to be a tough weekend for me. I've got a podcast to make, wedding to go to. Valentine's Day is on Monday. Watching a pair of dogs. Well, watching Lafayette and another dog. And according to economics, you can increase demand by raising the prices. I think you've got that backwards, but okay. There's probably a joke that I'm missing. But I'm not... I only have the 100 card packs. I need to sell them all. Well, actually, I need to sell maybe 97 of them, because I'd like to keep one for myself. And additionally, I would like to send a couple to Steve from... you can... Oh, you're right. I did read it wrong. My bad. I suppose... Oh, it's Bismarck's 82nd launch anniversary. Oh, this is... Are you saying that's another event this weekend? I don't think I'm going to be celebrating that, but, you know, I appreciate being told about it. So, got a busy weekend coming up. Might be a late Bacon Line or something. Either way, that's the problem I'm running into with Kickstarter. There is a possibility. Well, no, because that's the other issue. That's the thing that compounds it, the thing that really makes it problematic, is that I could just as easily have 100 single pack rewards and call it a day. But that means everyone would only be able to buy one pack, because you can't contribute to the same Kickstarter twice. You can change your pledge, but you can't contribute twice. And maybe we can work something out where if you want to get more than one, you just tell me and then do more, donate more, because you can donate more than the amount of the pledge if you really want to. I don't know, it's going to be something I really need to investigate. The other thing is, because I'm not sure if I can jam 5 index cards into an envelope, and I'm really not sure I can jam 10 index cards into an envelope. I think that it's going to be outside my capabilities to... outside my capabilities to reduce shipping for, like, if somebody wants more than one pack, you're still going to have to pay double shipping. I can't do that. I did not realize Bismarck was launched on Valentine's Day. A love letter to the world of mediocre shipbuilding. Anyway, Hey, Shortline. So, yeah, I'm struggling to sift through these thoughts. The thing I've got written down right now is that there's going to be 80 single yeah, sorry, 60 single packs for sale. So 60 individual packs where if you pledge $5 you get one, and 20 double packs for sale. Again, there's not going to be an advantage, like a monetary advantage to buying the double packs. It's just going to be, uh, it's just going to be regular old double double cost and double shipping, because they're probably gonna have to get sent separately, and so I'm just gonna need to get um, two addresses, sorry, two stamps and two envelopes, and you know that sort of thing. Okay, so I need to work my way around. Let's see, little parking lot here, like semicircular parking lot here. But yeah, I think I'm gonna settle on the ratio when I go and make this poll, because I'll say, okay, how many people would buy one pack? How many people would buy two? How many people would buy three? Now the hitch is once I put these numbers in, they're locked in, um, and I am available to eat some of the profits if some of them don't end up selling. But if all of the single packs go and people are only left with double packs, that's not an ideal situation, I would think. Likewise, the other way around, I am thinking there are ways around this, kind of awkward ways around this, but I don't know. I don't have anything concrete yet. I haven't worked with Kickstarter before. I don't know what can and can't be done. Um, I may get in contact. I may see if they have some sort of support line that I can ask about this, because it may well be something that is like can be explained to me, and then I can just implement it. But that is something that's down the line. I left the stream, so I may have missed it. I've been multiple depending on price. So price right now looks like it's going to be $5 a pack and $1 per shipping. So effectively $6 a pack, and that covers printing, shipping to me, and I have to randomize them. I have to deorganize them, and then I have to put them in envelopes and ship them out. I think, based on the amount of money that's being made off of this, it's gonna be. I mean, it's a labor of love. I'm not getting any sort of return on this, uh, but at least I get to make these cards, and hopefully there'll be demand for more. But so they're gonna be. Originally, my cost was gonna be $5, but missed I messed up the math. Not on the cost, I messed up the math on the ratios of the different cards. So originally I was going to have two common cards, and I would print 100 of each. I would, um, every pack would have a common card. I was going to have, I think, three Class 3 cards, which are the uncommon cards, three Class 2 cards, which are the rare cards, two Class 1 cards, which are the super rare cards, and then two legendary cards, which are the legendary cards. Now, I say Class 1, Class 2, and Class 3. I'm not. That doesn't lock in the locomotives from different railroads. That's just a measure. That's just the name of the rarity. So the Class 1 cards are not all Class 1s, etc. Are not all Class 1 locomotives. It is just a statement of rarity. I wanted a unique sort of way to call rarity, because everyone does like, oh, rare, super rare, legendary, or uncommon, rare, legendary, or you know those sorts of things. It's pretty. I wouldn't say it's standardized, but it's pretty samey across the whole industry of card gaming, and anything with loot has more or less the same rarities. So See how many people we got in here. We got 9 viewers right now. That, I think, is a good time to talk about what's in these packs. I hope you guys are ready. Drum roll, please. Give me a minute. I'm going to pull it up as soon as I put these... Can I grab the shrubs, please? Thanks. So each of these cards are a specific locomotive. They're not a whole class, like typically Locomotive Versus or Royale is played. But in an ideal world, it would be played like this, on a single locomotive. So, and I can tell you about the status of each card as well. So here's where we are. Here are the two, I'll start from the bottom, actually. The 2 common cards are Everett 11 and LSNI number 18. So that would be San Luis and Rio Grande 18, the engine that's currently at Colebrookdale. So those are your 2 common cards, Everett 11 and LSNI 18. Your 3, because like I said, the ratios changed. Oh, I got distracted with how my ratios got screwed up, but I can come back to that later. Point is, I was ordering too many common cards. I needed to dial that back and fill in the rest, and the easiest way to do that was to just add more engines. No, you're not supposed to see this. I'm just reading it out loud. I don't want it to be revealed too quickly, so I'm just going to read it. The 2 common cards, or sorry, the common rarity is the standard rarity. Everett 11 and LSNI 18. The 3 Class 3 rarity cards, or sorry, the 5 Class 3 rarity cards are Pennsylvania Railroad 1361, Western Pacific 94, Durango and Silverton 486, Canadian Pacific 1278, the one that had the boiler explosion, and Strasburg Railroad 89. So those are your Class 3 cards. They're the second rarity. The third rarity is Class 2. There are 4 of those. Frisco 1630, Southern 4501, Union Pacific 844, and Florida East Coast 148. The 3 Class 1 cards are Texas and Pacific number 610, N&W 611, and Chesapeake and Ohio, or WMSR, 1309. Finally, the legendaries are Southern Pacific 4294, the surviving cab forward, and New York Central 5453, which is a Dreyfus Hudson. So those are the 16 cards in Batch 1. Batch 1 is called Steam Star Power, name subject to change, but yeah, it's a working title. Those will be coming to a Kickstarter near you soon, TM. They're almost all done. Like I said, I'm missing pictures on a couple of them. Yeah, exactly. I'm missing pictures on a couple of them, and other than that, they're pretty much done. They're ready to be PDF'd, uploaded to Kickstarter, or sorry, uploaded to Vistaprint, put up on Kickstarter, and once we hit 100 packs sold, then we're golden. Like we're good. We can print them. I can take care of them and send them out. So, you know, I'm looking forward to this. If somebody wants to keep an eye on that timestamp, which is 23 minutes in or so, the people that are a little late to the stream can you know, take a whatever. They can be directed there if they want to hear about it. Sorry, I couldn't get the words out. So, 16 cards. To come back to it, I was planning for 12. I messed up my numbers. I was going to be producing 100 of each standard rarity card, but I only wanted to have 1 of each standard rarity card in each pack. Because there are 100 packs, thank you. Because there are 100 packs, with the rarities, with the numbers I had set up, every pack was going to have both standard cards, which on one hand makes a lot of sense, but on the other hand leads for a boring collecting experience. I want to make sure that when you open a card pack, you are pretty, you have good chances of getting different stuff if you happen to open 2 of them. even with the standards, you now have a chance of getting something else. So there are 2 standards. Every pack will have 1 standard, and that means there's a 50-50 shot if you get 2 packs of getting 2 of the same or getting both of the standards. Now, it was difficult when sorting out the rarities to figure out what exactly was the best course of action in terms of making something rare or not. We ended up making a lot of the weaker engines towards the bottom of the spectrum more likely to get them, but at the same time, we were trying to balance just their utility in the game versus how much they might be coveted. Which is why at the bottom you have Everett 11 and LSNI 18. These are cool engines, and 18 in particular is a decent contender, and even 11 is a decent contender because it is the smallest locomotive in the pack. And you guys, I'm sure, all know how small locomotives can do well in a versus a Royale if you play your cards right. But the as you go up, you have a sort of smattering of large and small. You have a K4 as one of the uncommon cards. You have a Hudson as one of the legendary cards. So if you get a legendary in your pack, you don't necessarily have a end-all be-all card. More or less everything has its pair, sort of. The only standouts are 610 and 94. I think really don't have a pair. 94 probably pairs well with 18 or with even 46 would probably do okay. Or do you have a deck that is... What you could do is have a deck that is just calls. What do you mean? The idea is to use these cards individually in Loco Royale or Loco versus player 1 pulls from the deck and uses that statistic. I mean, that would be interesting. But the idea is these cards are an entire stat sheet and some style points. And they all have a link to the rules document. It's a shortened link, so it's not doesn't take up like an acre of space on the card. But link to the rules doc, which is on Google Drive, so if I have to update it, I can. And yeah, I mean, again, the intention of these cards is you get a pack or a couple packs, and if you know people that have packs, you can duel with them or trade with them or both. I mean, you could put up a card as like a, hey, if I win, I'll give you this. If you win, you give me that. And just go from there. The thing that I never really got about real life trading cards is why to trade them. And I guess I understand more now that I'm older and people have different preferences and like, oh, I want, say for baseball, oh, I want this player, I want that player. This card is rare or unique because of this reason or another. Barring like misprints and stuff like that. Or, this is a very valuable player. But you couldn't, unlike, say, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, duel with them. You couldn't do anything with a baseball card. There's nothing that makes it inherently useful to you. You don't put your cards up against your opponents in a fantasy baseball game, a la fantasy football, I suppose. And you don't do that with your football trading cards either. They just are cards that you have and that gain or lose value depending on arbitrary things that happen in the world. Relatively arbitrary. I mean the abilities of a given player, or what their team does, or whatever. But of course, I was going to say, I was going to pull a science teacher move and put a link on paper. Yeah, no, I thankfully did not do that. I wrote it as link initially, and East pointed out to me, like, that's probably not going to work. And I said, okay, you're right, I should have written URL to make it clearer, but obviously I'm not going to, what's the word? I'm not going to try to put a hyperlink on a index card. It's not going to work. Random utility guy from the 90s baseball card is going for like $100K on eBay. Oh God, the only baseball cards I know of are because of the Face podcast, and that is um, the Face card, the one where the guy has that written on the bottom of his bat, and then, hey Redding, I saw you join the server, welcome. And then just the Don Zimmer cards, which is something that they love on that podcast. Uh, might be the funniest podcast I've ever listened to. F star star K Face. It's so good. I mean, I knew the guys before they started that show, but nevertheless, it is, you know, 100% one of the coolest, one of the funniest podcasts I've ever listened to. It's 2 years of the same argument, basically. It's just a continual argument. Um, yeah, hopefully that's something you go and pick up. If you're spending $100,000 on something from eBay, you're gonna hope that, or I would hope that you go and verify its transit yourself, or insure it really well. You know, warships in place of Pokemon cards. I always use cruise battleships. How I play. Cardo is my favorite ship in the deck is Hood. That's really cool, and that's exactly what I'm trying to dig into. The fact that there are people that do that out there makes me excited and a little bit more hopeful for these cards. Now, I don't think that they're gonna take me into millionaire dumb, but I do think that we can get 100 packs sold. Maybe not to 100 different people, certainly, but we can definitely get 100 packs sold. Um, we'll just have to see who buys them. But once it hits Kickstarter, I will absolutely say, go out and tell people. Go tell your friends. Go tell your model train club buddies. Go in your other Discord servers and talk about it and be like, if you haven't heard of Locomotive Versus, you're missing out. They're making trading cards. You should get some, and we can duel, or trade them or whatever, or just convince your friends to get them so you can get more cards. I mean, maybe like $20 an area. Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, I looked at like my margin on this, and I had to adjust the cost up because I was making negative dollars trying to produce these cards. I went, okay, well, I want to make these, but I'm not making them just for kicks. I'm not spending my money to make these cards just for kicks. I'm certainly not spending hundreds of dollars of my money to make these cards just for kicks. So let me put a price tag on them that actually works. And this is what I got. I got $6.99, or sorry, $5.99, or $6. Which again, I hope doesn't break the bank for anybody. If you've managed to break the bank by buying Local Royale trading cards, you should probably rethink your savings. If you don't have the $10 to buy one, don't buy one. I mean, I don't know what other advice I could give. Not that anybody's asking for advice, but just like, don't let my cards be the cause of your bankruptcy. Again, I'm gonna get in touch with some folks from Kickstarter and probably ask them about, like, okay, I've only got 100 items to give out, but people might want to buy more than one. What do I do? Uh, hopefully they have an answer, because if not, it's just going to be a fixed ratio of like 1 to 2. Yeah, I need to 18 separate Everett 11 cards. I mean, that could be something to do. The other thing about these is they're all going to be individually numbered. I'll show the cards off towards the end of the show, like individual cards. And actually, let me see if I can pull up one. The one that I really like the look of is the 1309 card. They all have different backgrounds, so um, they're all, well, sorry, the different rarities have different backgrounds, I should specify. It's not necessarily that they all have different backgrounds. And my monitor is honestly too small to... Can I do that? Yes. Yes, I can. Okay, I'm going to show this really quick. So, there we go. Screen. There we go. So this is the back side of the card. It's got your fuel type, configuration, some suggestions on what this card might be able to do. card number 1. Okay, I'll explain what I mean by they'll all be numbered. So you've got everything from the loco base. This one has no substitutions at all. You'll notice there are no asterisks anywhere. If there's an asterisk on any of these, it means that I had to independently verify the number. Like a couple of them have axolotling that we had to math out because they just they don't have it otherwise. A couple of them have changes since they were made, like Southern 4501 has a different tender, so the water and fuel capacity are different, and also the tender weight probably needs to be updated. I should mark that. But here's the front of the card. Again, I think this is a great photo, which from Wikipedia, so it's in the public domain. And it's got some features, obviously not all of the features, but these are all things that could be used as style points. Name and road number, class, also known as it, was C&O. A little blurb that I would write up, and then these things, this is the link to the credits, basic info, etc., rarity, and then when I get them, I'm going to be filling out these numbers. So there are going to be 20 of these created, and I'm going to number them 1 through 20. Gloria's going to help. She volunteered to help. And this is how you're going to be able to identify. So maybe you have a 1309 card, and your friend has a 1309 card. They don't really care about it, but theirs is number 1. You go, oh, I'll trade you my card number 17 out of 20 for your card number 1 out of 20. That sort of thing. And it's just to make sure that, make them all unique. I can show off some more later. I don't want to cut into the runtime of this too much. It is a pretty engine, and that's a very pretty picture. And too small for 7 digits. Yeah, no. Number like K&L's assets. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. Hi, Tyler. What's up? Why are you oh-knowing? I just did the thing and I revealed all the cards. Tyler has been absolutely instrumental and I cannot thank him enough. Honestly, I wish I could set aside cards or card packs for everyone that that has helped. One of the things I could do is offer a discounted rate on special order packs to people that have helped. Because I feel like I have to do something other than just putting their name in the credits. Because, again, it's absolutely instrumental. I couldn't do it without Tyler and without the other folks that have provided me images. Braden provided me an image. Graham's going to get me a couple, like I mentioned earlier. And I cannot be thankful enough. So the I am thinking about, because I am thinking about the special order packs. So I'll be as transparent as I can right now. The packs cost about, so I don't actually know how much they're going to cost to print and ship exactly. Well, sorry, I don't know how much they're going to cost to ship. I know how much they're going to cost to print. They cost about, and let me double check that my math is right, or that my memory is serving. The packs cost about $400 just in printing. And then there's shipping to me, and then shipping to everyone else, which, and there's also the other important thing, the thing that really raised it over $500, is the cut that Kickstarter takes. If I had a website that could do all of this, which I don't know HTML or anything like that, if I had a website that could handle all this, then maybe I could avoid that, and maybe I could reduce the price on the packs to $5 again. But Kickstarter is very helpful because they will not charge anyone unless we hit the goal. Again, I don't think that we're going to have too much of a problem hitting the goal in 30 days, and I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to eating the profits if, eating the difference if we don't for whatever reason. But the, That's what makes a difference, and I do think that is relatively important that we keep with that. I hope the $5 to $6 difference isn't going to break anyone's bank. Once again, if it does, don't buy the cards, please. But somehow I get the feeling that it won't be that much of a problem. Um, the so in the end, they have a margin, but it's relatively slim, and that may get even smaller if either the postage from me is more than anticipated or the postage to me is more than anticipated. I may go in and change the price for future runs based on how this one turns out. A lot of that is down to, can I cram 5 index cards in a normal postage envelope? I don't know the answer to that question. I'm afraid to find it out. It might be no, in which case I have to ship them a different way, which is possibly a nightmare. Something I'm not looking forward to trying to resolve if it comes, if it happens. Because I don't know, I'm probably going to be just paying out of pocket for all that at that point. But this is a test batch and we'll have to see. Now, the other bit of it is the special order cards, which are the same rarity as legendary. I only make 10 of them. They're blue goose colored. So the 4 colors are, we have black, or if you want to call it that, Brunswick green, but it's just black. For the standard rarity cards, the Tuscan red for the class, or sorry, the Redding or Pullman green for the class 3 cards. What is it? It's Russian iron for the class 2 cards. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Procedural trackisms. I heard you guys were talking about that. Good luck. Good freaking luck. I know people were, I think Heist, I caught Heist talking about it in one of the chats, one of the channels, and saying, like, this is going to be really hard if we do that. So, yeah, good luck with that. Really, I wish you the best of luck. Yeah, so, sorry, it goes, Russian Iron is the mid-tier cards, Tuscan Red is the class 1 cards, which are the ones below Legendary, and then Legendary is Aspen Gold. So, procedural track for Railroads Online, that's neat. So, that's what you can expect. Again, I will be doing runs of 10 cards that are Blue Goose Blue for special orders, which are currently $20, which provides a little bit of a margin, especially because I can ship them directly to the person that asks for them. And hold on, I'm trying to do multiple things at once and my brain is not working. And I would be willing to do those for $15 instead. I would be paying out of pocket a little bit, but it's a small price to pay for all the help that's been given on these. So, and it'll just add more cards to the market. Right now, I'm not opposed to adding more cards, and in fact, you know, just in general, having more cards out there. In fact, Galloping Goose would be interesting, but they don't have a stat page because they're not a Steam engine. We talked about doing diesels as like helper cards, but that's something for down the road. I have no idea how that would perform in a gameplay sense. Galloping Goose would be cool though. I mean, who doesn't love the goose? Tyler, don't say anything. The special order cards I could do at a reduced cost for the people that have contributed. Which Mason has contributed to his own special order card, but that doesn't count. That's also the first run of those. They've been sort of a guinea pig for a lot of things. including design changes. I made them, they seemed a little too samey, so I remade them like 2 more times, and then I carried those design changes over to all the other cards afterward. So that's the kind of thing where this is actively being adjusted and played with. Uh, it was only a couple of days ago that I realized that we needed 16 different cards in batch 1 instead of 12. Admittedly, not upset about that because it gives more variety for people to collect, which I think is important and a little underrated with the arrangement that I was doing previous to that with the 12 cards, and where every pack gets the same card, or one of the same cards. For those curious, by the way, because I haven't mentioned it yet, the other 4 cards are going to be totally random. So you don't get one class 1, one class 2, one class 3, uh, one legendary, and one common. You get one common, or one standard, and then 4 random cards. Just totally random. No duplicates, but totally random. So you're not going to get 2 legendaries. Oh, well, you could get 2 legendaries in a pack. That would be exceedingly rare. But I may change that to be no more than 1 legendary in a pack, just for the sake of keeping it fair. I think the chances of that are going to be fairly rare, or fairly slim. But I have not yet sat down, which is something I would have liked to do much earlier on. I have not yet sat down and figured out what the implications of these rarities exactly are going to be. So, I don't know. I would like to sit down and just figure it out. I don't know how I necessarily would. Maybe I could just spoof something in, like, Minecraft. I don't know. But because I intend to shuffle them all together, it means that basically the only thing determining their rarity is just how many of them there are. So, you could get multiple class 1s or class 2s in a pack. You could get a pack with a standard card and then just 4 class 3s, which would be neat because you would have quite a variety, undoubtedly, but it's less fun than pulling a legendary. That said, we did set up the game so that if you do pull all class 3s, effectively, you're still getting some cards that are useful. You can still, and God raise find a cookie tender. Yes. You can still get, if you pull all class 3s, I'm pretty sure 844 is in class 3. I just read it out loud, but I've forgotten already because my mind is fried. No, sorry. Class 3s, you'll probably get, if you get 4 class 3s, you'll probably get 1361, which is a pretty good engine in its own right. 1278 is also a pretty good engine. You might not be able to beat up on some of the more rare cards, but you can definitely beat up on each other. A K4 is a decent match, though, for the legendary Dreyfus, and probably a decent match for 4501 or 1630 or 148. So out of those bottom cards, I do think that the K4 is the most valuable up until you get into Class 2, in which case 844 is probably the most valuable there, and then 610 or 1309, depending on if you like giant engines to clobber your enemies with, or just good enough engines, decent engines, like 611. 611 will do you just fine. Need a drink. And if you get a legendary, I mean, you're probably not going to use your legendary. The Cab Forward is a good legendary. It's a good legendary in both respects. It is a rare card that is a very good card. And at the same time is a coveted card, I would think. Having a cab forward in your back pocket is pretty cool. The other issue with these cards is their survivability and longevity. I don't know what necessarily I would do about that. I would probably just put them in a folder if I was anybody else but me. Or even if I was me, I will probably put them in a folder for safekeeping. Whatever cards I end up with in the pack that I open, because I will probably just shuffle up the packs. Personal playstyle, I like to drag out battles as long as possible and finish with a legendary. Well, the thing with these cards is you're not. There may be a place for sort of tag team royale or tag team versus where you can tag out one engine and bring the other engine in. So you can have an engine that's small to win your weight stats and a large engine to win your power stats. I don't know how reasonable that would be, but I don't know. It's just a thought. It's just a way to make having more than one card on you useful, because in my head I am realizing that it's, you know, if you are going out to a place to do locomotive versus, you just want the biggest and best engine you have, more than likely. Although if you end up playing against a bunch of people with smaller engines, there's, you know, you may get beat up on in a royale. Yes, of course an AC9 is a cab backwards. You're absolutely right. Um, you're gonna want to just have your best locomotive on you. If you have an AC9 or an AC12 rather, and that's that's all you really need to take with you. Maybe a tag team. It's a little different in a royale setting, but maybe a tag team sort of game mode would allow that hegemony to be broken up a little bit. Who knows? That'd be something to play with, to experiment with in the future. And it would probably be almost exclusively a physical game, because it could probably have something to do with you know, you lay all your cards face down in a deck, and you draw one to play with at that very moment. Now the thing is, there's no like upside down card. There's no back, right? There's no side of the card that has no information on it and that isn't identifiable. At least in terms of what the rarity is, if not in terms of everything else. Stats of both locomotives combined. If a stat cannot be combined, the worst stat is used. Yeah, double header royales. That'd be kind of fun. Uh, but then you just need two giant cards and you win. I think, because anyone that's done versus knows, even more than royales, everyone that's done versus knows that there are only so many weight stats you can win on. You can't win on weight stats alone. If you have an engine, and even if you play it perfectly, going down all the weight... Oh. Going down all the weight stats, you're eventually going to have to turn that ball over because you're not going to hit 20. Unless you have other things going for you, like size of tubes and flues, or factor of adhesion, or boiler pressure, or something like that. Yeah, there's usually one every stream, one bot every stream. Oh, I needed to put in the shrubbery splines before I cover all this with trees. Yeah, it gets out 2K37 cards. The disadvantage for having two identical cards would be you can't use the same style point twice. But I think there is a tag team royale or a tag team versus option where you can switch out who goes when or which card you're using when. Probably only once while you have the ball. Uh, Once per time you have the ball. So if you lose a stat and then it comes back to you, you can switch your card again. That sort of thing. I don't know. That's just what's in my head. I would I would have to build it so that there's a lot of strategy to when you're pulling out which card. And I would probably limit it to only 2 cards. So you'd want to have a big engine and a small engine, which would give a lot more life to the small engines. I'm thinking. SP-18 more than K-36. Oh man, where's Graham? You just summoned Graham. Graham's coming. SP-18 detected. Well, I could spend a week concepting this game, and the fact that it's in my head now is a really, really bad thing, because I'm going to spend too long developing a tag team format instead of making my Kickstarter. Which I wonder when Kickstarter customer support is available. Oh, welcome back, Shoreline. I hope you caught up with the rest of the fun times that we are discussing here. Hope you were noticing all that. What are we working on today? Okay, so I am trying to get this corner of... I'm trying to get this corner of the world done. It's proving a little more of a pain than I thought because I'm trying to think about the game as well and also do this. But K-37s are cool. They're conversions, which makes them a little weird. I'm not sure what I like more. I can't say I'm not a fan of the Grand's like final power, as it were, the last narrow gauge engines, but when it comes to narrow gauge, I really love the older stuff. The older stuff is where it's at, if you ask me. And I keep clicking on the wrong tab. So, yeah. We're working on that. We're talking about the card game, or the trading cards. You know, not necessarily the kind of thing where you would have to play with them, but they serve that function, whereas other trading cards, like I was saying earlier, typically don't. Which is what makes these good, I think. What makes them uniquely useful or special. I wonder if I could have... And, of course, we can talk endlessly about the different batches we can have. But I just thought of a Little Engines Can Do Big Things batch. Just because. And it would just be all little engines. 060s and probably like a 240 or something. Whatever we can get with a good picture and a stat sheet, I'll make a card out of it eventually. And if you have helped me, I'll say this. I'll say it right now. I'll send it out on the airwaves. If you have helped me put together any cards, I will produce you a special order of your choice for 25% off. So, or sorry, 20% off. So $16. Yeah, $16. Yeah. I had to check my math real quick once again. But I am so willing to do that. I just want more cards out there. I mean, even if one person has all 10 cards of a given run, they could run into some people and make some trades. I mean, what can I say? But I think there has to be something that encourages compiling a team of locomotives more than... I said they're cooler, I didn't say they're better. A team of locomotives beyond just carrying your best one around. That I think is going to be important for sort of the longevity of the game, because that means beyond the like I want to have a bunch of cards. desire, you can have the, well, I need this card to complete my set. I don't know. I'm just thinking about it. You know, you'd probably find good combinations. There would become like a metagame as to which combinations were the best. You need to encourage that sort of thing, and I think a tag or a tandem royale or again, I think calling them double headers is cool. That's a cool one. I don't necessarily agree with the concept that was thrown out there. I think that could be a little bit awkward and not enough strategy involved. But calling them uh, double header versus would be cool if you ask me. I think it fits the theme certainly. So I have, let's see, there are one, two, three, four. There are four that I need the pictures for. The rest of them are ready to go. Um, I need to write up some blurbs for some of them, but other than that, that makes 13 out of 17 total cards that are ready to be printed. And I don't know why I'm lollygagging with the stuff from Mason or the stuff from Mason. I just keep thinking that I'm gonna run into some other problem that I haven't figured out yet. Uh, and it may be that down the road, in a relatively short or even relatively long time frame, things change. But what if in the future you had game rule? What if a batch you had in the future or a game rule you have deals with famous luxury trains? Oh, okay. We do have style points for name train service, or at least one of the locomotives has that listed as a style point. Of course, it's the legendary uh, J3A Dreyfus. But having cards and such for rolling stock or specific trains is an interesting thought. I don't know how I would necessarily make it work well, but it's a thought nevertheless, and something that I may have to come back to in the future. The thing is, in order for a card to be useful, it's got to have a lot of stats on it. Even diesels don't have enough stats on them, which is why there are no diesel cards. The steam engines have a buttload of stats, which makes them more viable as things to put into the game. Meanwhile, uh, basically everything else doesn't. And that's why having a diesel as a helper, where it could fill in on certain stats, would be an interesting concept. I just don't know how it would necessarily work. I don't know. It would be the have to it would have to be developed and played with, and honestly, I'm sure we could eventually figure something out. I don't think it would be that improbable that we could make something like that work into the game. Right now, I'm just focused on not going crazy with the scope creep, just trying to get the first batch of cards out there and the first pack or packs of special order cards out there. And if you hit me up in Discord, I'd probably be more than happy to make you a special order pack for 20 bucks. Because that seems to be what it takes. The only thing that's tricky about those packs, for the consumer anyway, aside from the fact that they're all going to you and you don't get to have them distributed between different people, you have to do that yourself. Aside from that, the hitch is that you also have to number them yourself. So you're going to get 20 cards, and they're all going to say blank out of 20. Or sorry, you're going to get 10 cards, they're all going to say blank out of 10. And you just have to fill in the 1 through 10 yourself. And then if you're going to give them away, you give them away. If you're going to do, you can do whatever you want with them. I don't care if you resell them or what. They're not going to say not for resale. You can do whatever the heck you want with them. They're trading cards. I don't care if you fold them up and use them as kindling. I might be a little annoyed, but anyway. Tandem royales, or tandem versus. I would say not royales, specifically versus. Royales, there's enough sort of pressure in different directions that medium engines can win or even small engines can win given the right circumstances against larger opponents given the right circumstances and working together by the various players, but it's still possible. The thing to think about is if you have multiple cards, how often do you get to switch between them? That I think would be the toughest part of just figuring it out. The rest of it is fairly straightforward. I don't think that you would be explicitly double heading. So you wouldn't necessarily have, excuse me, you wouldn't necessarily have like, okay, you're combining the tractive efforts, etc. Just you have these two engine cards and you can switch between them. So I don't know. I'm thinking it's flowing right now. I will have to possibly sit down in the future and write out what all the changes might be. What all the rules might be for something like this. Okay, so that's all tucked in. The backside here is not done. That road needs to get done. I think I need this dirt, because we've been using this an awful lot for the under road stuff. Although gravel would possibly be more realistic or better looking, I don't know. But there's me blowing my big thing for today, talking about the Batch 1 Steam Star Power. Hopefully you don't do that with these cards. Don't give them away. I mean, do give them away if you want to. If you order a special order pack, then absolutely give them away. But yeah, there could be some use for the different engines in a double header. Maybe a linked royale or a linked versus or a coupled versus. I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with railroad names for this stuff now, and I don't even have a concept. I cannot concept on the fly when I'm working like this. I'm sure you guys down in the chat right now may have better, more coherent ideas than I do about how you might swing a Roya or a versus like that. And again, I don't think combining the stats is the way to go. I think switching back and forth between them so that you could have a large engine for your power stuff and a small engine for your weight stuff. Then yeah, you could see a meta with having highball royale. You could see a meta with having one very large engine and one very small engine that you're using, or you could have a large engine and a medium engine, or a couple of medium engines. Because if you set it up so that there's a chance that you're going to be caught with your pants down with the wrong engine out, then it might encourage people not to have a bunch of tiny engines that get beat up on. And I do think switching between engines when you get the ball is the way to go. Because then you can have your big engine out. And you can go with it and go with it and go with it until you bungle something. Or, if you do. And then you're stuck with the big engine, the person can switch to their little engine and beat you up on weight stats until the cows come home. And then you get the ball back and you switch to an engine that, maybe your power stats are played out, but you want to see if you can get them on weight stats or something more specific than that. And you switch to your smaller or medium engine to try and win some points that way. And the same thing sort of happens to them. I don't know. That's my most rudimentary thoughts. I don't know how that would play out. Maybe people would just sit on their their big engine. Maybe people would intentionally turn the ball over so that they could get it back with like a trick point. I don't know. I'm thinking. Brain's going. This area needs to get done also, but we are... If I can finish off these little gray patches here and these little gray patches here, that I'm going to call a win for today. Let me check my to-do list real quick. Everything else is operations. Scenery goals are done. Check flat stock. This is done on the documentation. I don't remember what check flat stock meant. I think we could just do a trolley thing at the end of this if I finish this up. I still want to do the 24-hour test. I said I might do that on Monday. I don't think that's realistic because it's Valentine's Day. But because although it is Valentine's Day, it also is recording day for Doodad, for the bacon line. Don't know if that's going to be possible because Wywold has a girlfriend and I have a girlfriend. So it would either be a very late night, and I think Tyler, I don't know if Tyler, I don't know. Tyler, correct me if I'm wrong. I remember there may have been a girl, question mark, but it also, I might be thinking of O'Gillies instead. And I don't mean O'Gillies having a girlfriend. I know that. I'm talking about, never mind. That's why he moved to Arizona, right? To be with you? Anyway. Tyler doesn't deserve the abuse that I give him. No, believe it or not, we are going on the Valley Railroad dinner train, which I am super excited about. It is steam-powered for the first time in possibly ever. They don't usually do the dinner trains under steam because they need to go very slow. There's one that's... Oh, that's unfortunate. Every day I wake up outside of Colorado. Hammer's Wall. But hey, at least she's still texting you. I suppose that doesn't mean you'd be going out on a date, huh? But just happened to be, we were talking about the booth, or sorry, talking to the folks at the booth at the Big E about upcoming stuff, and they mentioned to me that they were doing a steam-powered dinner train on Valentine's Day, and our other plans weren't really going to work out, so we went with this instead. Yeah, exactly. Gloria's getting filet mignon. I'm getting big stuffed chicken. I'm really excited about it. I hope it's delicious. But at the very least, I get to go on a dinner train, which I'm not sure I've ever done, honestly. I just haven't made a date on a train like that before. So I hope it is everything it's cracked up to be. Also, Gloria's very supportive of me doing this trading card thing, which I'm deeply appreciative of. And like I said, she volunteered to help me number the cards when they get here. There will be 500 cards to number. Also, speaking of the cards, one of the things that happened when I changed the price, originally there were going to be 6 cards in a pack. And it wasn't going to be 6 locomotive cards, it was going to be 5 locomotive cards, just like this. And, sounds like artillery. Yeah. And the 5th was going to be a rules card. I was going to have a brief explanation of locomotive versus rules, and also have the credits on it. Figured out couldn't do that. The cost to print those cards was going to be way too much. And yeah, so pull the plug on that there. That was one of the redesigns I had to do to fit the link in to the rules document that I made. And yeah, I mean, what else is there to say about that? I wanted to deliver 6, instead I'm going to deliver 5. Unfortunately, it's not what I had hoped to do, but fortunately, on the other hand, it is, um, it is not cutting into the number of cards people are receiving. The number of locomotive cards, that is. The credits cards were just going to be redundant. They were going to be one of those things where everyone would end up with a bunch of them. You know, if you ordered a pack and one of them came in every one, then you would just have a ton of them. And what would be the point of that? So, yeah, drop that idea. I still think people that order multiple packs are, they're more than likely going to end up with multiple 18s and 11s. Not to say that it's a bad thing, because they're freaking cute. I mean, Everett 11's adorable, 18's cool. 18 has had quite a history. It served a lot of operators. Like, I had no idea of all of 18's history. I actually didn't know that 18 had worked at the Grand Canyon before. And the other fun thing is, the LS&I had two 18s, and both of those classes went on to serve in preservation. Not both of the number 18s, I don't think, but both of those classes. And when I was setting up the document for the first time, I actually grabbed the wrong 18. I grabbed the 18 in the other class, the class that went on to become 734, but corrected that, went back, because I was like, hey, wait a minute, this thing's enormous. Like, this isn't LS&I 18, this isn't Slurge 18. And I realized, oh, it's because there are two 18s. There are two very different 18s. So, it's been fun digging into these. I feel bad every time I have to ping Tyler and say, hey, what's the axle loading on this obscure locomotive? Which is the most obscure stat. And I'm beginning to want to go back and mark some of them as just unavailable, because the math that I'm doing to calculate like an estimated axle loading is not really sound. It's just doing the division. If the engine has 3 axles and a weight of 150,000 pounds on the drivers, if the engine has 3 driving axles, then assume a minimum of 50,000 axle loading. But that's not great, because it's probably going to be very different than that. It's probably going to be substantially higher. So, who knows? Alright, we got that filled in. Actually, looks not half bad. We did get everything back there. We got everything over here. We're missing some trees over here. So what else can I talk about? I mean, I am really excited about one thing. Speaking of Valentine's Day, I got one of my gifts early today, and I'm really, really excited about it. I was giddy. I immediately put it up on the wall. It might be the best Valentine's Day gift I've ever gotten, which is saying something, because Gloria is an excellent, excellent gift giver. Let me make sure you can see it when I hold it up. I'm so excited about this. It's metal too. It's not plastic. It's not, cheap at all. It is a genuine license plate. Well, it's a genuine fake license plate. And I want to peel it out of the plastic. I was waiting for this very moment to peel it out of the plastic, because I'm so tempted to put this on the front of the wagon. I mean, I need 2 license plates in the state of Rhode Island, but if I drive out of the state of Rhode Island, this could go on the wagon. God, I love it so much. I mean, obviously, it's just painted. It's not, it's not properly beat up. But I love Ghostbusters, and I love this. The railroads and builders didn't care. As I've shown through Harvard documentation. Yeah, no kidding. I don't know. I mean, Axle loading, I guess, is not that important as long as you have your minimum weight of rail. I suppose axle loading matters if you're on a bridge, but just a very small bridge. I don't know. It seems like the kind of thing that would be important. But I guess, yeah, people didn't care. Bill freaking Murray, exactly. Hey, did you miss us? Oh man, I watched Afterlife for the second time the other day, and it was just as good. I adore that movie. And speaking of which, speaking of movies I adore, Pat is not in the chat right now, but I heard he watched Grand Budapest Hotel for the first time, which is my second favorite movie. Afterlife is probably now my third favorite movie, and for Warship Match of the 15th, a whole bunch of rookies. Might have to bring out my carrier deck just to be fair. I am really intrigued by this because I'm wondering if I can take some cues for uh, locomotive versus. Probably not, but they're probably fundamentally different games, especially if you have a deck. You know, there's nothing in locomotive versus that requires you an individual having multiple engines, multiple locomotives, or multiple locomotive cards. But I am intrigued. Um, I'm. It's cool that you have so many people that you have a bunch of rookies. Um, just really calm Cooper Bridge ratings. Hmm. That's interesting. I never really thought about that. Yeah, I did wonder why nobody has axle loading, but I guess it just didn't matter that much. Nobody seemed to care that much. Um, okay, so that's there. I need to put some grass down the middle of this, and I need to grab the grass I used over here to do it. Wait, it's over here. CNS ramblings. Was it the CNS that was weirdly good at keeping records? Like, you wouldn't expect them to be good at keeping records, but they were. I remember one of the, maybe it was the RGS. I remember it was one of the Colorado narrow gauge railroads that I was just talking with Weibold, and I was like, oh, I assume that, I assume that there's little that stands testament to whatever we were talking about. I think we were actually talking about 60s boiler, so it would have been. No, I've forgotten which railroad 60 belongs to. CNS, CNS 60. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, so it was the CNS then, and he was like, no, they kept pretty dutiful track of everything, and I went, really? Like, seriously? Doesn't sound like the CNS to me. Not the CNS I know. They're more standard gauge than narrow gauge. Oh, right, because weren't they owned by the Q? Or am I confusing my Colorado railroads again? Anyway, let's talk on DRWs, including the nuclear stuff. Oh no, the nuclear stuff is fun. I like how we've come back around to nuclear stuff now that uh, now that we began the episode talking about the nuclear waste warnings, like the long time nuclear waste warning things. Some of the yeah, because they were a CB&Q road. Chicago, Burlington, Quincy owned the CNS, became Burlington Northern, became BNSF. The rest is history. Uh, Caused a massive strike and instigated the creation of one-man crews. Oh, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Out of curiosity about the warships things, do you have to base the decks on something, or are there like meta decks that don't really have a specific theme per se, but they're just really good? Um, because I could see wanting to build a sort of tandem deck of Locomotive Royale card or Locomotive Versus cards uh, for like all one railroad or something. But it might make more sense just to have a bunch of really big engines or a bunch of big engines and a bunch of small engines if you're going to do double headers. I think some of the thing is a good part of the appeal for people doing locomotive versus in the first place is, I really want to see how these two locomotives will stack up against one another. And yes, it's still a game where a decent percentage of um, whether you win or not, a decent portion of that can be chalked up to how you play the game and how well you know your locomotives, or locomotive, I should say. But at the end of the day, it is a statistics based competition. Okay, so we did it. Time to go do a database repair because this thing's broken as hell. Alright, we're going to close this out. We're going to go over to the other window. We're going to talk about trading cards for a little while, and then we're going to come back. So, let me do this. Save, override existing session, and route. Manage content. I'm going to switch over to the screen view. Where did my webcam go? Oh, whoops. I turned the wrong thing off. There we are, I'm back. Okay. So, I'm going to close this. 31 variants cookie. Dan is having a telecarm. Oh, man. I hope that development is going well over there. I am definitely going to want to do a, I think batch number 2, definitely to capture the right market, is going to be a Rare's Online pack. And it's going to be all 3-foot narrow gauge stuff that's in Detect Tree. And you can go through and... Really? You're frozen again. Well, I'm trying to close the game. Task failed successfully. It's eating up 30% of my CPU to do that. Guess I'll just kill it. Feel bad, but bye. You already saved. Okay. So, games. Let's open that back up. Also, let me go to streaming and recording here so that nobody sees anything they aren't supposed to. Yeah, exactly. At least I saved this time. Manage content. Let's do rebuild database. And if this doesn't work, we'll do a big one. Anyway, let's look at some trading cards. So, this is batch number 1. Like I was saying. Steam Star Power. These are your locomotives. These are the classes. These are the whites, gauges. We've got one 3-foot gauge engine in there. You can see this. If anybody knows Thomas C. Ayers, apparently he's got a massive collection of Pensy pictures, and I'd love to get in touch with him, but I don't have a way to do that. The picture I had for the Dreyfus cards, couldn't get copyright for that. Couldn't get permission to use it. So, anyway, batch number 1, Steam Star Power. Let me scroll all the way over. Here we go. Here's the picture we have now. It's just a picture from Wikipedia, as you do. I really would like to, zoom out. Can I have, 95%? No. Well, yeah, I can get away with it. It's just not great. I mean, you can just look at this all you want. These are all the stats. There's the axle loading we had to dig up. There is, we got the PT1 tenders, so tons of fuel. And that's reflected down here, suggestions, fuel capacity. These are credits. You guys all saw what this looks like, but this is the Aspen Gold. This is the other one. So those are your 2 legendaries. Waiting on permission for this photo. If not, I have one from Milky that I'm going to use. And I actually might have one of my own. 1309 is the card I showed off. This is probably my favorite looking card. I think it's the best looking card. How are you doing over here? Is it already done? Hold on, let's see if it worked. Just the mix of the colors and everything. Okay, this is a new background, I think. Is it? No, it's not. I just never really looked at the background. Okay. Over here. Missing... What are we missing? Real quick. What are we missing? Oh, and these two are open for edit. List dependencies recursively. I think it's just one road, right? Hold on. It is. I think it's one road. But it's not that one. It's not the one that's causing a problem. I think... Yeah, I think we'll do that. Well, let's go through really quick. So there's 611. Is this card. Same difference. Storied life, including both Rex and excursion careers. Ignore the fact that it looks weird. It's because we're on 95% zoom. Reflecting of post-1945 configuration. Now, everything is current configuration except for 4294. This is pre-like 1945 configuration because they changed the firebox. 610. This is one of the 4 that got added after I realized I needed more. It's also the only Texas we have. This was in there from the beginning. Oh, we didn't do the math here. Real quick. Let's do it. For those who don't know how to do this. 126, 500, divided by 204,000. 0.62. And center that. So this one's done now. This is a photo taken by my son. Yes, baby?
I don't know if I'm going crazy, but I can swear to God I hear something eating the wires of the treadmill. I can hear something over by the treadmill, like wires lifting up, like something hitting the floor, like light as wires. You know how wires hit the floor?
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like. Like something's
Maybe we found
floor.
Mr. Jangles.
Something's hitting the floor like wires, and I'm like, what is that? I hope I'm not going fucking crazy.
At least the roads are back. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, if you'll just hold on for one brief moment, I will be back after finding a mouse. Possibly.
I hope I'm not going fucking crazy.
You know what? I'm just going to send the thing to do its thing, and we'll go through the rest of the cards while it happens. Let's save really quick. Once again, ready existing session. All the efficiencies of battle group. I love you. I'll be right there. Bad one through team. Bad one through team. Wait a second. Uh-oh. If the mouse ate the treadmill, I'm going to be real upset. Hold on. What am I doing? I need to... oh, right. I need to exit Surveyor and then come back in. I just need to know if the end of day problem is solved. So we'll find out. Use changes. I don't think there should be any changes since the last time I saved, since I played for all of 5 seconds. I need to switch OBS over as well. So, Train 2019. Have fun in the early morning with a trolley car. Oh, it's not even going to leave immediately. Oh, wait, no, I forgot. It sets at the right... It starts at the right time now, right? Yeah, 5:42. Everybody else is waiting. Yeah, so waiting until 6:15. Alright, let's turn the lights on. If you could turn the lights on, please. I guess we don't have... I guess we just I guess we aren't gonna roll with lights today. We don't need lights. Lights are overrated. Have fun. I'll be right back. Okay. Okay. Oh, could you guys you guys could hear the squeaking? Oh my god. Yeah, no, he's going nuts. I eat treadmill for breakfast. Oh, I should shut the door so you guys can't hear the TV. I love you. Yeah, he's been going to town on the squeaky toys anyway. But we gotta let this guy do one rotation, I think. Let's see, where is the loop? So this is the loop. This is where it ends. If I get rid of these two, all right, I get it. Actually, if I pause it now, because this is Station Way. Oh, I did it just a little bit too quickly. Honestly, I should be able to run it to Sugma Boulevard Northwest. That's where I should be going right now. Um, so let's just disassemble this whole thing. I'm just gonna have to pull stuff off until we get a terminate passenger train. It's gonna be a little while though. We've got a lot to get rid of. If I just no, I can't. I can't like delete them with the delete key or anything like that. And the first in is going to be the first out in the morning. Because that's the other thing I need to do. I need to set up the wait for commands. Oh man, we're still going. We're still going. We still got plenty of time to get rid of stuff. The other thing is, I was thinking of locomotion for a minute, and I was worried like, okay, we're halfway there. I was worried like, okay, if we start changing the commands around, the game is going to unpause. And so I only have it between here and the next stop. Or, between here and Sugma Boulevard, I guess, to do all of these deletions. Oh, and the scroll wheel's getting a little bit longer. Scroll bar got a little bit longer. It got a little bit longer. It's going to, like, exponentially increase the length because of how this works. God, this is the most repetitive thing ever. I wish I could just clear the schedule, but I can't. Actually, no. No, I really can't. Okay, never mind. I thought we were done. Guess we're not. Is anyone still here? No. Wow, we do still have people here. I should just let this guy go. Instead, I was like, oh, we're going to get this done now. And then we're still going to have another hour to do what? Show everyone how to export something to the download station? I don't even remember how to do that. It's been... yeah, no kidding. I know. It's so intense, guys. It's so... I'm clicking so hard. Oh, hey, Achilles. Come on. We're almost there. Oh, there's terminate passenger train. Okay. We can go from here. Stop. Terminate the passenger train. Let me turn... Uh-oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Where are you going? Oh, did you, like, go back to the station to do it? Freaking bizarre. This game's weird. Alright, now what? Go to Sugma Boulevard. Go that way. Yes. Oh, rough handling. You want to play Locomotive Versus, the card game? Oh, I'm working on it though. We're gonna get it. I have spent like most of my free time this past week making the cards, and I'm pretty happy about them. But not not putting them out just yet. Still need to figure out the rest of it. Rough handling's the dumbest thing ever. Well, your mom doesn't think so. Ayo. I'm sorry, that was uncalled for. All the rules for it. If you could, yeah, if you could toss me that, I would be really intrigued to just read about it. It might be able to give me some good inspiration on how these things could work. Does this have... I thought I was supposed to add an extra thing to this. My feelings are destroyed. I appreciate you being a good sport. Also, these roads are dead empty. It's in honor of me being here, Keyham Street, Wakefield Street. I don't have a way to name streets. The only reason this road is named is because the I have to put a stop on it. Okay, so it is making it across the bridge. Oh, I think I had to add an extra signal, not so much an extra doodad. And I am worried about crashing into somebody that's coming out of the car barn. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. How do I tell it to abandon schedule? Oh wait, I can change the control mode. You know, that's a good point. There wouldn't be much traffic at 5 a.m. I kind of neglected the fact that that it's 5 a.m. Alright, you're gonna have to figure out how to use this signal though. You're trying to get to track 1, which means you're gonna have to throw that switch right there. You're gonna have to throw that switch right there. That one right there. And then the next one. Back up. Stop. Boy, that thing can stop on a dime. I mean, it might have gotten screwed up, but you just need to throw the switches, this one and this one. If I do it, it should... Yeah, see? No, stop. Hold on. Go forward. It should be able to do it without my input is the problem. It needs to be able to do it without my input. Okay. I'm going to switch back to this. I'm going to tell it, continue schedule. And it figured it out. So it was definitely... Oh, wait a minute. No, it didn't figure it out. The switches were already the right way. Go back forward. Stop. Okay. Throw a switch. Fire a gun. We all need someone. Wait, that one was wrong. Where the streets have no names, yeah. Alright, so if I Let me just make it real hard for this guy and set all the switches wrong. Now, there's never going to be an issue where a train is trying to come out and into this place at the same time. But I can see that that could be a problem. Alright, schedule. So through those two, it needs to throw 2 more. I just don't know if it can. I don't know if it knows to. It needs... Oh, wait, no. So it threw this one. It faded out once. It needs to throw 3 switches. If I throw that one for it... No, it threw 1. I don't know why it's so finicky. Drive to track mark. I'll just send it straight to Carbon 1 and see if it figures it out. I guess not. Which is a little weird, because it just did it a minute ago. I mean, that was when the switches were thrown for it, but... What if I give it some more room to, Oh, and it figured it out. Boy, it is really finicky. Maybe I need another track mark. Maybe I don't. Oh, did I? Because I threw other switches for it, though, didn't I? No, because it couldn't figure it out with the regular one. Either way, it should pull up to that track mark and receive a bunch of commands, if I remember right. Or maybe I didn't set that up yet. No, there it goes. So it should wait, and then it should wait until the next morning, although it won't because of the way that this wait command works. It'll actually go immediately. I'm just going to test it with this guy. I'm actually going to... These guys are all about to leave, huh? This is 6:04. It's 5:58 now. I have 6 minutes of playtime. Oh, crap. That's right. Forgot. This guy is about to leave. Just give me like 10 minutes. Wait for 10 minutes. By then, everything else will be all screwed up for sure. Just pull this guy out of here. Oh, look, a bus. What are you doing? I told it to wait for 10 minutes. What are you doing? Hold on. What part of wait for 10 minutes means nothing to you? I should have just changed his control mode. Why didn't I do that to begin with? Stop. Alright, well, it's sufficiently messed with the switches. Let's go all the way up here and try it from the Sugma Boulevard. Oh, right, I forget that part about waiting. Yeah, no kidding. I love the AI in this game. Have I ever said that before? No, because it's a lie. I hate them. I forgot that these are all here. Hold on. How do I just delete the whole schedule? Change schedule. Abandon schedule. There we go. It needs to have a schedule to abandon it, I guess. Navigate view. Where is it? Drive to track mark list. MV car barn. Drive to first available. Please figure this out for the love of God. Sugma Boulevard is named as such because I asked Gloria what I should name this, and she said, suck my cock. So, you know. By the way, this place does look pretty good now. It does look whole, which is nice. It's approaching junction, blah, 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 blah. Oh, come on, you can figure it out. Usually it does it, like, instantly, so I get the feeling we're not pulling in today. Why is this hard for you? It's gonna get closer and closer and closer. And then stop. And then give up on life. Where are you trying to go? You're trying to go to track 2. Yeah, so you need to throw literally one switch. Just that one. Maybe the red signal. It needs to have a signal at some point. That's the whole shtick. I mean, I could add more signals so it gets closer. If I added one right here, it would figure it out. Well, it needs to throw the switches so that the signal's green. We've watched it do it twice before now. It did it twice. Stop train. Continue schedule. Yeah, when I did that before, it just figured it out immediately. Okay, hold on. Drive to check mark. Car barn 2. Okay. You're just too dumb. You're too dumb to figure it out. Come on. What if I throw one of them for you? Yeah, okay, you figured it out. Oh, because the other one was already set, huh? Yeah, because they can only figure out like 2 switches ahead of them before they need another signal to pull up to and figure out the next switches, which is incredibly dumb and unnecessary. But if it means I throw down a bunch of invisible switches so that the trolleys can figure out how to do their thing, then it means I throw down a bunch of invisible switches so the trolleys can figure out how to do their thing. So let me exit driver and throw down some invisible signals and try this again. No, I have a bunch of invisible signals, don't worry. Or I have an invisible signal that I like to use, rather. Yes, use changes. Yeah, computers. You have Wolfram Alpha out here that can solve your calculus equations, but it does. You have Deep Blue can beat chess grandmasters, but doesn't know how to drive a train. Okay, hold on. Let me get some invisible signal. I have used these constantly. I'll be honest. What do you? Oh, because it's trying to place it on the thing. No, not on the overhead wire. Oh my god. Oh, it did it. That only took several attempts. Adding more signals so that the locomotives can get farther is always an important thing. It's like a hurdle that they need to get over. Okay. We're going to exit Surveyor. We're going to save this. I don't know what I'm doing. We'll get a new song of the day. Snoopy for president. What's with the center cab? Is it to move the trolleys? The center cab is to serve the singular industry along the singular remaining industry along this, used to be fairly important interurban. And it's the banana place. The banana place doesn't have wires, so they use the 44 tonner to shift cars into it. They don't have a freight motor, they just have the PCCs. Yeah. Matt's right. Matt members. Okay, hold on. Before... Oh, I don't have any way to prevent this, huh? Oh wait, get rid of that. Let's drive to Sugma Boulevard, and then halt train, and then navigate to... Alright, sorry. Where is it? Drive to track mark list, car barn. First available. Not all track marks. Don't try to drive through all the track marks. So yeah, this guy, its entire job is to pick up one car. Yeah, there are some DLS freight motors, and I'm not saying that I don't have a freight motor. I'm saying that this railroad does not have a freight motor. So this guy, once a day, comes in here, grabs one car from here, and it's in the middle of the night, brings it down here, parks it here, grabs this car out of this siding, pulls it out, grabs the other car, shifts it back in. In fact, if I could get quick drive to work, commodity overlays. Oh, interface underlay. What the? Oh, I get it. I wish I just had the regular old commodity picker. Oh wait, no, that's not what I want. Oh, whoops! I need to be paying attention to the trolley. Where are you going? Oh crap! No, stop. Stop right there. Honestly, I think it might even be more interesting to have this guy comes out of here and he goes all the way over here, up here, through here, and into the yard over here, and grabs the car and then brings it back. Hello, comrade. Hello, comrade Tyrese. Okay, will this be able to throw 2 switches at a time? You know what, I do think that in a situation where this isn't possible, maybe an interlocking tower, that's where that's warranted, but I can't use an interlocking tower here because it will not play nice with this command. But I think the thing is, the locomotives have the AI has a relatively short reach. So it just couldn't get to those switches. They weren't close enough. It needed to get closer to them. So now this works. Something I want to send you on Discord. Which channel do I send it? You can always DM me. My DMs are open. But if it's something general, you can just put it in the foam pit. If you're not a fan yet, you should go apply for fan rank once the poll is up. But like I said, I have a poll that's upcoming that has to do with how many things a thing might buy. Okay, hold on. We're gonna do something. We're gonna have some fun today, because I feel like my scenery work is done, at least for the moment. And so instead I want to have some fun. You guys down for that? We've got 30 minutes. Meanwhile, I'm going to edit the session. I'm going to use the changes. I'm going to actually go in, I'm going to save it as, and then I'm going to open another version of the route, or the 0.64, and I'm just going to start putting stuff in it, so we can drive a train. So, no, I hate having fun. Yeah, you know what? Me too. That's why I started making Tolbrynd instead. Alright. Save as Tolbrynd 0.65. I should have grabbed more water while I was trying to find the mouse. And the thing is, some of the stuff over here is seeded, but some of it isn't. That's why we normally spreadsheets at the end of streams. Yeah, the spreadsheets have got to get done, man. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. I don't think I have any... Oh, wait, sorry. Let's go over to Exit Surveyor. I hear talk of freight motors. Yes, yes, we were talking about freight motors. Fear not, the spreadsheets are done, I think. Let me just go up one level. How do I hit escape? Yes, that'll do. 0.65. So 0.65 is our newest version. That's the working version. This is going to be our view sessions, edit session. This is how we're gonna play around in this. Also, my wallet is killing me. There we go. Also, my background is dark. Oh well. That's not legend. That's my life. Did anyone happen to notice, just real quick while this thing loads, did anybody happen to notice how these are all spreadsheets? By the way, let's get through the other ones quick. Here's 844. Here's 4501. Picture provided by Braden. Thank you. Here's 1630. Strasbourg 89. Now we're getting into the class 3 cards with the green border. 1278, which I need permission to use this picture. I'm waiting on a response on Flickr. 486, don't have a picture yet, waiting on Graham. Western Pacific, this is like the only good picture of 94 on display online. Thankfully, again, it's put in the public domain on Locomotive Fandom. 1361, once again, a public domain Locomotive Fandom picture. Ellis and I, 18. This is it in Slurge Guys, which I should honestly change this to San Luis and Rio Grande because I've been trying to match that. The locomotive that is displayed is the one that's technically listed with all the features and etc. But I don't know. I may change that later. I may just swap out San Luis and Rio Grande and Lake Superior and Ishpeming. And then Everett 11, once again waiting on picture 4, but just wrapped this one up as well. Again, this and this are the two things that I need to get done on a lot of locomotives, or the ones that I have left. This is half done. This is not done. And that's about it. I mean, the abstract is here. You can see I need a front and rear blurb on 486. I need a front and rear blurb on Everett 11. And features, although features is done, I can get rid of that. And the rest of these are complete, including the special order, which is PDF'd and just needs to be uploaded. So yeah, there you go. There's the trading cards. We need a 1351. Well, either request a special order or we'll get to that. Anyway, let's do the fun thing. Wait, how am I supposed to do this? I did it wrong. I forget how to actually play a session in this version of the game. Because I wish I just had the old quick drive window, but I can't find the darn thing. Drive session. Use changes. But we can switch back and forth, so there's that. I have spent a good few late nights making the cards. Alright, so those guys are going to do their own thing. They have it sorted out. It works more or less reliably now. We, on the other hand, are going to take a passenger train to Olive. So, surveyor mode. Quick drive is the third top tab option. So this. So this. If I go back to driver mode, I don't have it. Actually, let me, because I could have sworn I had the quick drive thing in. This is like the beta version or whatever of thing. Edit session. Do I not have quick drive anymore? I think I deleted it because it wasn't working. I didn't know how to do it. Edit. Set game time to what? 5:42, I said? we're going to run is the better question. I think I know what I want to run. 542 with a rate of 1x. It's Control F2. Oh, okay. I assume only if you have the rule. Gameplay session mode. No. In-game help by default. Nah. Control method to easy mode. I can change that, I think. So the default realism to arcade, I guess. Setting to imperial. I can delete this now. Switch back to driver mode. So Control F2. Control F2. It's not doing anything. There's no quick drive option in here. I can only go to surveyor mode. Hold on, we're going to go back and we're going to try and see if we can make this work. It has not worked since I've been in the beta version, so... edit session, I guess. Hide my screen. Let's fix it in here. Edit session. Add quick drive. Edit 542 with a rate of 1x. Realistic mode. Arcade. Sorry, none, because I really don't want to derail anything. So the default units to imperial. Do not enable in-game help by default. Alright, so I put it in. Let's just back out and save. Exit surveyor and save. Override existing session. I got a ping. I got a ping in the foam pit. Oh, Jesus Christ. I see it. I see the things you sent. That's hilarious. Okay, now we need to drive session and see if that works. Use changes. I see. I love it. I think I remember wanting those when I had 2006. Because there was a great website for all Sodor stuff. Anyway. Can I get quick drive now? No. Control F2. Nothing. Alright, I'm gonna guess that it just doesn't work in this version of trains. They broke quick drive. Sodor Island 3D, yes, that's the one. Driver Control Center. Oh. Waybills, schedule info, commodity picker, session options. Okay. We're just going to do it like this then. Surveyor mode. We're going to run a prototypical consist for the Gilson Eastern at this time. As long as I don't accidentally put this on the narrow gauge like that. Oh, the front, the locomotive's on the narrow gauge. I think I was using New Haven coaches. I was using, like, yeah, some of these. Baggage combine. I don't want McGinnis cars. We'll just run this train. I'm glad you do. Alright, let's switch back to driver mode. Here we go. Switch to you. Did you get a... Yes, you did. Cool. Unpause. Awesome. I like how the gas station over there is just brightly lit up. So we are going to try to... Oh, what happened here? Something got unstraightened. That annoys me. It's this track right here that got unstraightened. We are going to run a train to Gilson City. I guess I'll switch to driver mode because I'm not a pussy. Although I wouldn't mind if there was an automatic fireman. Yes! That I will take, because I always forget to do that. I haven't seen that model in like a year. Yeah, I know, I used to have it out here all the time. I know it's kind of dark out here, but it's 4 or 5 in the morning. What do you expect? We're going to need to throw that switch. Yeah. Nope. That one. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not accidentally throwing the wrong switches. The automatic fireman is broken? Well, that sucks. Hopefully it's not broken for me. Let's see. Let me just make sure we got the signals set up, or the switches set up all the way out of here. Looks like we do. Lines clear ahead for 2 blocks. Sounds like we're ready to go. Straight up does nothing. That's unfortunate. I hope it works for me. Alright, reverse or full forward. Brakes off. We don't need sand. Does it have a custom cab? This doesn't seem right. It is a custom cab. It's definitely the wrong one, though. Alright, let's see if my, my railroads online is paid off at all. I'm not sure if I set up speed limits. Oh, I did set up speed limits over here. So we're going to try to not break the speed limit, but at the same time we're going to try to get to Gilson City by... Or sorry, get to Olive. We're going to try to get to Olive by... whatever. So speed limit in the yard here is 25. I'm going to try to get to Olive by the end of the stream here. Hopefully they're rotating the bridge into position for us. Yes, they are. They always cut it a little bit close, considering. I don't want to fall in the drink. Go 60 into 20. I'm trying not to do that. I'm trying very hard. Check the phone bit again. Oh, neat. Thank you. I don't think I'm going to end up downloading or using them, but I appreciate that. I don't remember where my next speed limit sign is. We are speeding now. It goes 60. Oh, your 89 is broke. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I missed that. I don't remember Oh, you know what? There's probably a yard limit sign with a speed limit change out here. Unless I forgot that. Yeah, there is. It goes up to 40 out there. I'm speeding a little bit. In fact, I'll coast for the second. We are relatively flat. I guess we're going up at about a 1%. Oh, and we're popping off too. That's wonderful. Can I... Oh, wow. Okay, that's a view. What about the coaches? Okay. Hello, people. Hello, Peter. Can ride in here. Okay. Line ahead is clear for 2 blocks. And we should be approaching our 40-mile-an-hour speed sign shortly, I can see. These coaches have Mario 64 levels of details. Well, the people in them, yeah, the coaches themselves are really not that bad. And the interiors, yeah. Okay, I think we're past it. Time to open her up. My computer sure hates this route. The water? What about the water? Oh. Oh, is the fireman not doing anything? Damn it, I guess I gotta do it myself. Okay. How do my fireman off? Where's my water? Here's my water. Guy raising a lobster from the grocery store. I assume this is the water slider. I guess they're just not putting any water in. Oh, there we go. We got water in it. British stuff is kind of eh for me. Rough handling. You do get more boiler pressure without it. That's true. That's a good point. Just a little too much boiler pressure, if you ask me. We get our little bridge here. I do wish my computer didn't stutter while I was doing this, though. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Maybe it'll be better in the next version. But a lot of it is just because this map is too much for me. But I mean, look at that. Look how goddamn pretty that is. Especially with the morning mist. Get yourself a girl who likes rough handling. You're goddamn right. Oh, we're gonna pass under the... We're approaching West Doe Cliff. We're just gonna barrel right on through, but I'm gonna go check the switches nevertheless. Alright, yeah, so that one's set. Oh, we need to do switch stands here. That one's set. Line is clear for 2 blocks. It's good. This line is a lot of up and then down, and then up and then down. And honestly, I think this area really did come out. I really appreciate it. I mean, don't look over there, but this side of the river sure as hell came out. Should have staged a train up there. The map, yes, no, it is. You're right. You don't need to ping me every time. I have notifications on. Also, look at that square headlight. How's my water doing? Water's fine. Shovel some coal. No, it's fine. Other people are just going to be like, why are you pinging him so much? Either that, or worse, they'll decide to also ping me. For no reason. Because that happens. Water. I can run trains over said bridge, believe it or not. Oh, okay, there we go. Spacebar still works to shovel coal. That's good. If I had time, I would run around and then run a train over said bridge. But it is a long way up there, and probably too much to ask of this Atlantic. Oh, this is a little off kilter. I don't know why it is, but it is. I guess because one side of the bridge is supposed to be a walkway. Still better than my Rares Online trackage. I doubt one of the trolleys beat us here, but it'd be fun to be pacing one right now. Oh, we've got a red signal coming up, though. I'll attend to that after we cross the crossing. Hopefully the crossing works. It does work! Viaduct double loop. Yeah, no, yeah, no, don't... let's not talk about that. So that one's fine. We're heading towards a limit of 25, so I need to start putting the brakes on a little bit. Oh, wait. Can I just use... Is this train brake? I'll just use the train brake to slow it down. Rough handling. Yeah, no kidding. Let's see. Where is my red signal? I assume right over here? Nope. It's on the other side of the road? Where did I put the signal? Oh, there it is, yeah. Oh, it's under control. Oh, we're going to get a prompt for the interlocking tower. We should, anyway, when we get close enough. Oh, and I just slowed all the way down to a crawl. I'll check them out later. When I have the time. The trolleys be hooked together so you could run... So you should, in a way, run two trolleys for longer runs. Oh, okay, so like having the PCCs coupled together. Technically, yeah, you could. I think... If I had to justify what they're doing now, I would say that the company only has the 4, so they want to keep frequency up instead of worrying about capacity, because they're probably not hitting that capacity. pretty flat over here. Oh, okay. Yes. That. Alright, signal's green. Unfortunately, it's probably not, like, functionally green. Because this is going to be off. We need that, and that. And then that. Oh, yeah. There, there, there. And then we're actually going to need to go that direction out to the main line. And then we'll just lay it on thick. We'll see how fast we can go. Or I might turn it over to the AI for that, because we're going to need to go real fast. Must be saving this. Saving for those sprinters of the future. Yeah. How's the AI supposed to figure out that many switches? You'd be surprised at the capability of the AI in certain situations. In the versions that were released for Tane, there is a switcher that does a decent amount of switching in this yard, for an AI anyway, and did it almost without a hitch. Okay, so at this time I'm going to turn it over to the AI. Navigate to industry. Actually, no, you know what? I'll do it like this. Can I just turn on autopilot? No. Why can't I just turn on autopilot? I guess I don't have... I guess... Oh, wait, drive. Duh. I should have done it once I got to the station. But yeah, previously I had a freight train that would come in here on top of 2 passenger trains, including this one that was working. So that train would start here, and it would wait for a little while. Another passenger train would come in, and then it would leave. Then a freight train would come in, pull into one of these 2 tracks. A shunter would come out of here, pull the last 3 cars off it, stuff them over here, put the caboose back on it, and then it would leave. And then another train would come in, and the shunter would come out. It would take those 3 cars and put them back, or put them on the end of that train, and then that train would leave to go that way. I believe I also had it using the turntable to turn itself around. Or sorry, this guy was using the turntable to turn itself around. This guy was actually set up on a loop where it would run here. It would pull into the station, and then back out of the station, pull over here, pull the engine off, run over to the turntable, spin the engine around, put it on the other end of the train, then back into the station. This is off the DLS. It doesn't feel underpowered to me, but I haven't really put it through its paces. At the same time, I don't feel like an Atlantic is supposed to be very powerful in the first place, and if it can't do the thing you're asking it to do, it's probably just too weak of an engine. Atlantics were not very strong engines. So we have clearance out of here. We're going to go over to the express track. I need water. Why are you slowing down? I think he's just being way too ginger on the throttle. Alright, now he's picking it up. He's away from the switches. Now he's picking it up. This spur is honestly extra. As soon as we cross that signal bridge, the speed should go up to, there we go, 79 miles an hour. And enjoy this while I go get some water. Alright, I get water in the pineapple. 79, why not just 80? Because the invisible speed signs I had just were 79. That's why. There's no other real reason for it. Oh, the sun is rising over the landscape. Oh, never mind, sun's gone. I guess the sun would be rising in the distance there, and so we're just sort of ducking in and out of the shadow of these hills. This area, I think, is, yeah. This is the highest point on this section of main line. I believe it was Slop Ridge, because that was sloppy when I made it. I didn't mean to make a hill here, and then I had to go around it. Hi, Lafayette. Hi. Hello. Hi, Pupper. What a good boy. What a good boy. Come here. Come here. Come say hi to the people at home. It's like the speed limit. Yeah, exactly. There we go. We got some dartboards. Perfectly normal signals that everyone can understand. Oh, it's okay. Oh, you're okay. Just let out a big sigh. Need to do the switch stands over there as well. I'm noticing a whole bunch of things. I should be writing them down, but I'm not. Let me write them down now. Alright, you can get down. So, real quick. Goals scenery. Switch stand at creameries and West Doe Cliff. Bent rail at MV Station. Those both need to be fixed before I can release the map. But gosh, this looks good. I love it. And it's actually running a lot better out here. Go past this farm. More dartboards. Listen, the dartboards were an incredible idea for their time. And I will stand by the idea that they were a pretty decent signaling system if you could understand them. I know that's sort of the folly of them, but really, they're just semaphores made out of dots. And as long as you know that vertical means go, and horizontal means stop, and diagonal means something in between, you're gonna be okay. You don't necessarily need to worry about what all the different aspects mean. People just look at them and they get intimidated, but there's no reason to be intimidated. Oh, the sun's out for good, is it? Is it? Maybe? Oh, we rejoined the main line. Oh, it's the trees that are putting us in shadow. I mean, I guess it is to a certain extent. But that's because we grew up with it, we know it. It's inherent to everything that we do, red, yellow, green. If we grew up with more semaphore aspects, if we were more accustomed to semaphore aspects, that, you know, then these signals would make more sense. But, you know, automatically, I mean. But the other thing to take away from it is the fact that these were designed in an era where semaphore signals were basically it. These were the first, I guess, widespread, as far as widespread on one railroad can be. It was a very large railroad. The first widespread adoption of a signal that wasn't mechanical. And so you didn't have to worry about ice weighing down a signal and making it show the wrong aspect, or them freezing up in the cold and just being unable to change. So, and what put them up over colored systems of their day eventually, was that they just used one lens assembly, which the PRR could confidently produce about 11 billion of, and from there, just when a bulb went out, you just replaced it. You know, you didn't need to worry about the right color lens or anything like that. It was all exactly the same. They had one production line. They could just be continuously producing the things, or they could just produce, again, a gajillion of them and stuff them in a warehouse for when they needed them. There was so little that could mess up with a signal. And even if you lost one or two of your bulbs in a given aspect, you would still be able to perceive that aspect, which I think is another important thing. They were very redundant, they were very easily maintained, relatively speaking, and they were pretty damn mechanically foolproof because they didn't have any moving parts. So, you know, for a signal designed around, you know, around the turn of the century, or in the, I believe it was like the 19 teens that the dartboards came about. For a signal designed in that time period, it was really, really good. The thought process that went into it is damn near impeccable, if you ask me. As long as you can know what the aspects mean, they are incredible. Oh, how was that? If you can give me the elevator pitch of the Starship presentation, that'd be really cool, because we are currently barreling towards the next interlocking, and I want to try to route us into the siding in Olive, but yeah, no, it makes more sense to us because we're a lot more used to it. Oh, that's good. Hold on. So, you know, that ends the rant on the standard signals, which, again, I agree that they are lawful evil in a way, because there's no evil empire in railroading beyond the Pennsylvania, if you ask a lot of people. Um, the Union Pacific for some people, the New York Central for some people. But, I mean, the Penn C merged with like 800 railroads. They ought to be the real dream crushers. They got too greedy with the merges and they merged one too many times. But we are well on our way. I'm surprised it hasn't given us the prompt for um, the interlocking tower yet. I wonder if it will. DT alignment quiz got chaotic evil. Not something to be proud of. Where'd the dog go? What's the dog doing? Wow, that's really cool. Yeah, either you're having too much fun with the quiz, or you need to work on yourself. Come on, give me the pop-up. I think it'll still give me the pop-up because it's set to drive, but I have no idea. I've never done this before. Maybe if... Hold on, let me just... On the one hand, I'm curious what will happen, and I want to see. On the other hand, I don't want this to break right now. Track warrant dispatches are the best method of running. I mean, it's a way. Alright, I don't think it's going to work. Hold on. Can you give me the doodad? Oh wait, do I have the signal tower manager? Session options. No, that's not it. I used to be able to have a, Whoa, wrong button. I think it's just sitting on the ground next to it. I don't know. I would love to, Alright, stop. If I back up and then go forward again, will it prompt me again? Yes, it will. Okay, express to local. Go. Drive to OL. Did I not set up the... I didn't. Olive northbound, platform 1. It's not done, but it's definitely very close. I want to put down one more thing. I should... Oh, we didn't do the Lionhead. We need to do the Lionhead Industries. That's right. So, no, we've still got at least another episode on this. I just started lollygagging. I wanted to run a train. So, we still need to set up the Lionhead Industries, and we found another couple things that are screwed up, including some scenery problems. And... let's see, what was the other thing? Goals, operations, check all passenger station names. There we go. So we're gonna cross over here. I'm realizing I didn't get the setting for pulling into this track, which I guess just isn't a setting for the interlocking tower. We are almost in Olive. Oh my god, there are so many out there, and they're almost all the same. If Tyler if Tyler, are you still there? Come rant about the Berkshires. I know you hate them. In my head, the only good Berkshires are the original ones, the A1 and its sisters. So slightly disappointed in people's taste. Well, they weren't really saved out of taste. They ran a really long time, and then they all got donated instead of scrapped. For them, or a bunch of them did. 12 Canals, Berkshires. It's a lot of them. It's an obscene amount of Berkshires. They're cool engines, don't get me wrong, but like, I would trade 6 of them for a Dreyfuss Hudson. Or how about any New Haven engine? Yeah, if you want to go back and make a deal with the railroading gods to get us other engines, go ahead. Does this still work? What a tragedy. We lost the 13th one. Yeah, you would be right. That person might have been Tyler. Tyler was, I was trying to make the card for 1225, which I can show you guys that as well. But, no, I'm not going to be able to. I'm going to have to leave as soon as this train arrives. Anyway, welcome to Olive. We have successfully run a train all the way from Mason Valley to Olive. It's the first time that's been done in quite a while. Probably the first time it's been done in Trains 2019. And yeah. Hey, rarity works, man. And that's going to be one of the special order. That's the special order cards. Pierre Marquette, 1225. The C&O gods, you get the turbine. I'd rather have the NW turbine. I'd rather have the John Henry. I think it's really freaking cool. Looks like something out of Tron. Anyway, here's Olive in the early dawn. Let's go check out the trolleys really quick, and then we're going to end off. What are you guys doing? Oh, there's 2 of you here. One of you is on your way back, I see. Climbing the hill. The other one is loading there. Is there another guy down here? Yes, Alan's down here. So he's doing the thing. That's good. Everyone seems to be running okay. How about the George H. Emerson? Is that the N1? I think it's the N1. Is that the duplex? I'd rather have any duplex. Give me a T1 or a Q2 or the S1 or something. Why didn't they save that? I mean, really, guys. I guess they figured nobody would want to hang on to it. It's too big. Oh, there's the 4th one. This one just left. It's probably about to take a left up here, right? Yes. Gotta throw that switch, lady. That one right there. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you. You figured out how to back into the car barn faster than anybody else. Yay! Okay. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next week. KCS 210 for you. See you next week. This is the Admiral. Have a happy Valentine's Day or Singles Day.